Hey guys, it's Caleb. I decided to put mascara on my face. I did like a really shitty job of it, so I look like a really bad like facial hair going on. Unfortunately, I don't know how to put mascara on my like peach fuzz, but mustache looks like kind of decent. But I guess I do like kind of an update. So far, I've got my mom to like kind of come around. Her and I went to PFLAG a couple weeks ago. Which is, if you don't know what PFLAG is, essentially it's just like a parent or friends group for people that are like in the LGBTQ community, and like kind of getting them to understand and accept it, and also to give you a variety of resources in the city. I had found out through that group that there was actually a trans guys group in my city, which was really cool. So I went to that on last Friday night. Yeah. It was really cool. Like, it was really nice to be with a bunch of people that like I didn't have to explain what bottom surgery was. Like, I had a conversation about different types of bottom surgery while we were on break with like two different guys, and I guess like a friend of one of the guys or whatever. So that was like really cool that I didn't have to explain it. And what was kind of awkward is that my gender therapist sat right next to me during the meeting because I guess he was like the guest speaker, and I have a meeting with him next week. So, and I've seen him at Twisted, which is the gay club in my city, which is kind of awkward because it's like, I know how awful you dance when you drink, and that you're still trying to hit up guys. But it was really informational. Like, they were talking about how in Canada, at least, like most of the ways that they try to diagnose GID is being changed now in Ontario. Some guy named like Ken something, my gender therapist is going on about like essentially how this guy just wants to make it so if you have issues with your gender, then you're just supposed to be in the strict gender roles of your like your birth gender, to like correct it instead of just understanding that some people don't fit in that binary and will never fit in that binary, or will just become more and more depressed if they continue to try to fit in there. So that was like really cool and really informational, and really uplifting too, because he actually gave us like the outline, that was the word I was looking for, of how you have to be diagnosed with GID, and like how you have to have like 6 of these, 8 criteria in order to be diagnosed with it, which I pretty much fit all of them, at least in my opinion. But after 2 or 3 sessions with my gender therapist, they'll decide whether or not I do have it. And I've been like reading or watching a lot of trans related stuff, and it's just kind of seeing in more and more that like this is who I am and this is who I've been, as far as childhood. And my mom, I guess, never really picked up on it, or I wasn't. Maybe I just wasn't as severe as other kids, but I know like personally that it was there. Um, so that's kind of been positive and negative because it also makes it just really sink in and makes it really almost depressing in a sense. And what's cool also is that here they also have like a transparence group, which is I think called like transparent, so they just put it as one word. Um, but I think it's really cool for my mom because she she's having a hard time with it, and she's like kind of mourning, having me as a daughter and trying to gain me as a son, but she's still in that kind of awkward phase where she's still trying to come around to it. Like, she's been very supportive and been trying to call me Caleb, and saying he and that sort of thing. So I know that she's trying. I just know that it's still, it's hard. And I've kind of caught a little bit slack, and still allowed her to call me my birth name in the house, and still call me her daughter and that sort of thing, because I know that it's difficult because I can't fully be male all the time because of my grandparents. They won't ever understand or accept. So I'm trying to make it so my mom doesn't slip and call me he while she's with them, and then be like, have them kind of be a little bit confused as to why. So yeah, and then I also have an interview on Tuesday, the day before my gender therapy, with Holt Renfrew, which is like this really high up store. It's kind of like, if you live in the States, it's like kind of like Nordstrom's, but like I guess more higher end. Because like I was looking at their shirts and tie, and like a shirt and tie like ranges from like 300 to like $500. I'm like, holy shit, I don't know if I'm fancy enough for this, but I am doing stock, so hopefully they won't hold me up to that criteria of like having to dress that fancy if I'm like moving boxes and shit. That's pretty much it. And like, just have been having like a lot of mental instability the past couple of days, and I'm not really sure what's causing it. I think it's just a variety of things of just my journey and trying to accept it and trying to, you know, see what my future looks like and trying to figure out how it's going to be for university and that sort of thing. Because on the online applications, which I can't do because I don't have a credit card to pay for my application, they actually let you put in like your preferred name, and I had put in Caleb in all of mine. But because I have a Visa debit card, it wouldn't accept it. So I had to go into the college or university I was applying to and actually physically pay for my application and fill out a different one, which doesn't give me that option to put in my preferred name. But if I do get it, when I do get accepted, I guess I can always, when I'm picking my classes, I can always say, you know, like I go by Caleb, that sort of thing. And what's really cool is my university is actually holding a like a workshop for transgender individuals. So I'm hoping that because of that and the support that that school is kind of giving towards that, that maybe my professors won't be as strict about it or a little bit more understanding because of it. And that's kind of really all I have as far as an update. I guess just what I thought was really interesting is that the fact that when I went to be flagged, like a lot of people are like, you know, it's really nice of you to really try to consider your parents as they're going through this. And I think a lot of trans guys, especially, like, we've known for so long that something's wrong, but our parents, you know, especially if we're one of those kids that's really shy as I was and not very vocal, like our parents have no fucking idea. Like they might have seen like signs here and there, but they're not going to take that one or two instances where you know, wanted to be a boy or said that you were a boy or, you know, took that masculine role that you're automatically transgender. You know, like some kids, they're very upfront about it and know from a very young age. And some of us, it takes a really long time for us to really figure it out. And our parents, it's going to take even longer because they have, like, I have a really close relationship with my mom, so I can't really speak for everyone, but I know that for most parents, like, it's really hard for them to understand. And, like, the thing is they're not going to understand it right off the bat. Like, a lot of parents don't even know this exists. So you kind of have to be patient with them and really understand that it's going to be a really big change for them, and it's not going to be easy for them. And you have to also give those resources to them so they're not just looking up online and saying, well, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. And really just explain to them how you feel and try to explain it in as simple way as possible and give them those resources so that way they can educate themselves a little bit too, because it's really frustrating like having to explain everything that you can when you don't even know half of it. So just try to get your parents resources if they're really having a hard time, and really just try to say how you feel and just, you know, feel that if you're having this mental turmoil over it, you're most likely your parents are just going to want you to be happy. So if you explain that you're not happy and that transitioning will make you happy, and, you know, going through therapy and that sort of thing is going to make you happy, I think they're more inclined to really understand it. But that's kind of my 2 cents. Like, it doesn't work for every parental unit or parent. But as far as my parents, like, that's kind of how I went about it. It was just saying, you know, like, I'm not happy how I am, and, you know, my dad took it really well. He just was like, you know, like, whatever makes you happy. But we haven't really had the discussion kind of thing. Like, I've asked him to give me like a boy's name, so when I change my name, then I can like kind of incorporate him too. So that's kind of where I'm at, guys. If you have any questions, definitely inbox me, especially if it's like a private question or you just want some guidance or something. I'll do my best to help. If not, I can definitely recommend you to another trans guy that might be further along. That's all I got, guys. Thanks.